This is probably the first time that I've ever done a film review where I've been upset that I'm doing it spoiler-free. Most of the time I do spoiler-free reviews and I'm totally okay with it being spoiler-free. I don't care. I'm not the person that likes to spoil things, but damn, this movie has some spoilers to it that I so want to talk about, but I can't because the movie just came out, so I will hold myself back. Even though the Sonic fan in me is saying, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Well, either way, welcome back to another unscripted film review. Gee, I don't really watch a lot of films in a year, so the fact that I've seen 2 in the span of 2 weeks is pretty great. Don't expect it to stay on this consistent of a pace. Movie theater tickets and snacks are expensive. Either way, as you can tell from the title, this review will be of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, recently released by Paramount Pictures. Here it is, the long-awaited theatrical feature film debut of Sonic the Hedgehog, the film based on the venerable video game franchise that has been around since 1991. I have grown up with Sonic. I'm sure some of you guys know that I'm a huge gamer. You could probably tell by some of the shirts that I wear. I have been playing Sonic since I was probably 6 or something when I got Sonic Adventure DX as a Christmas present with my GameCube. And since then, I have played many games in the series. Just looking at the ones that I've beaten the original Sonic, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, Heroes, Sonic Lost World, Sonic Forces, Team Sonic Racing, and of course the fantastic Sonic Mania, which is probably my favorite Sonic game of the ones that I've played and beaten. So when a film adaptation of Sonic was announced, I was, if nothing else, intrigued because most video game based movies tend to suck, but I was interested just because, hey, I've grown up with Sonic. Now there's finally a video game adaptation of a series that I've played and am familiar with and that I know very well. But then I started to get nervous, not only because of the video game movie curse, but because a lot of the leaked early designs of Sonic didn't look that great. That poster of him on the Golden Gate Bridge with just his legs was kind of goofy and strange. And then the fateful day came where the first trailer for the film was released, and it was a mess. Tonally, the film just seemed off. For some reason, they played Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio, which, no disrespect to that song, but it just doesn't fit with a Sonic movie. And then, of course, because I'm going to talk about it in this video because everyone else will, there was Sonic's original design. Obviously, if you guys didn't know by now, the design on this poster was not the original design. I wasn't going to show the original design because I didn't want to haunt anyone's nightmares, but when I clicked on a picture of it, I kind of jumped and got a little bit scared, so since I suffered, you guys have to as well. So here! Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to come off as mean with that, but I just thought it'd be worth it to at least show the design, even if it's just a cropped picture of his face. Still, you can see just how horrifying it looks. Sonic here looks like something that sprung from the same loin that created Cats. He looks like a man wearing a really bad Sonic Halloween costume, or someone that tried to go to Comic-Con dressed as Sonic but didn't get the full costume, so they decided to just paint their face to make it look like Sonic. It was terrifying. We thought the legs were our biggest worry when we looked at that first poster, but nope, this was a bigger one. But to director Jeff Fowler's credit, he understood that a lot of people were unhappy. He was very receptive to the criticism, and he delayed the film from its intended November 2019 release to now, February 2020, in order to get the design right. You can see it on the poster right here. I think he got it very right. Not only that, but when the second trailer came out, the movie just felt different. Tonally, it just seemed so much better and so much more faithful to what Sonic is. So my curiosity was kind of piqued when I saw that second trailer, and now that I've gotten to watch the film as a whole, what came out of it? Well, I've got to say, I had a pretty good time with this. It is definitely a flawed film. There are plenty of things that you can pick apart as problems with it. However, I still think it was a very enjoyable adventure. For a quick run through of the story, when Sonic's life becomes endangered, he ends up on Earth, where he stays in Montana at a place fittingly known as Green Hills. I fucking love it. Where basically he causes a massive power outage in the entire Pacific Northwest. And now he, along with a local sheriff named Tom, are on the run from Dr. Robotnik, who basically wants to steal Sonic's powers in order to advance his own robotics. It's a simple story. It's what you would expect from a Sonic story, and I will say there are quite a few plot holes here. Again, you'd have to see individual scenes to see what I'm talking about, but there are a few moments that are just like, wait, how did that happen? Why didn't this happen? So I do think the writing in terms of the story structure did need a little bit of work. I wouldn't be surprised though if that had something to do with the redesign. Maybe they were so focused on redesigning Sonic that perhaps they couldn't do extensive extensive rewrites. They were just trying to get the design right. What does work for me for the most part is the dialogue. Again, it's goofy, it's what you would expect from Sonic, but I think a lot of it works. A lot of it's charming. It sticks out if you are a fan of Sonic and you understand a lot of the references. I will say I do think some of it is definitely catered to a young audience, and some of the moments in the film definitely feel like they are reaching for a young audience. There are moments where Sonic asks if The Rock is president, and a few parts where he does the floss, which, yeah, it is a bit cringy. But honestly, I do like the characters here. I think Tom, even if he could have easily been just the human, is actually an interesting and pretty emotional character that is anchored by a solid performance by James Marsden. I think Ben Schwartz honestly nails it as Sonic. I wasn't sure about the voice at first, but I think he does a great job, and I think he really embodies the character. Sonic himself, even if I think some of the flossing is cringy and I think that there are moments that feel a little weird, I still think the character is written well and he feels faithful to the original Sonic character from the games. And then of course there is Robotnik, who of course, I'm sure you guys have heard it plenty of times and I will repeat it, Jim Carrey kills it as. Jim Carrey just chews the scenery, has so much fun with it. I wouldn't be surprised if his preparation for this film was him sitting in a dark room for an hour listening to an endless loop of the Shadow the Hedgehog line where Robotnik says, "You know what they say, the more the merrier." Also, I wouldn't be surprised if he never played a Sonic game, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's played every single one. But he just has so much fun with the role, and I think that he really takes the character in a slightly different direction than what's seen in the games. I know Eggman in the games is a bit over the top, but Jim Carrey really chews the scenery here. But again, he does a really solid job of it. Also, by the way, filmmakers, take notes. If you have a supervillain in your films and you don't give them a dancing montage, we've lost the narrative. Visually, again, I'm glad they updated Sonic's design, and I think he looks excellent in the film. As a whole, I think the movie looks very nice. I was a little sad we didn't get to see more of Sonic's home, the original Green Hill Zone, but it looked great when it was there. I can only imagine how painstaking it was to recraft Sonic, but they did a great job, and I feel like the movie would have honestly lost something if he wasn't redesigned. There are plenty of action sequences here, and I think they're pretty fun. Again, seeing Sonic kick ass and move fast and do what he does, it feels like it should. It feels like it is accurate to the games. It feels like it's faithful to the games, and I think it's an entertaining watch. And again, I do appreciate a lot of the subtle nods to the games. They're very little details, they might be hard to catch, but I think they work really well, and it really gives me the impression that Jeff Fowler and his team really cared about the games when making this. This wasn't just, hey, let's make a Sonic movie to make some money. This feels like it was made with some passion. Sure, there are quite a few plot holes, and again, some of the humor was very clearly intended for a young audience, but I think the film still does a successful job. It's funny, the action is solid, the performances are great, especially Jim Carrey. Sonic's redesign is a necessary change, and it was great. I can't imagine it having worked with the older design. And again, like I said, it feels very Sonic. It feels very faithful to the source material, and I'm very happy with the film. No, it's not the greatest thing ever. Probably not going to top many year-end lists, but I would say it's very successful as a video game movie, and I'm very interested to see where they could go with this. I would like to see a sequel to it, hopefully with a little more time now that they don't have to worry about potential visual problems like they did with this one. They could tighten up the screenplay a bit and make some of those beats work a bit better. But either way, I think that they've built a good foundation with this, and I am interested to see where they could go with another film. All in all, on my rating scale, I am definitely going to say that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is going to get a good rating from me. Not an excellent. I do think the writing could have been tighter. I do think there were some very obvious plot holes here, but all in all, I'd say the film was a success. I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I can't wait to see more in the future. But that's just my opinion on the movie. What did you guys think about it? Were you as happy with it as I was, or even happier? Did it not live up to some of the pre-release hype? Did you feel some of that disdain that you felt when the first design was shown off? Did you land somewhere in the middle? Were you indifferent towards the movie? Whatever your thoughts were on it, let me know down in the comments. Let's keep this civil and have some fun, please. If you guys want to hit like and subscribe, thank you. If not, I am not going to beg you for it. Please don't feel pressured to. As for what's next in terms of film reviews, like I said, I don't watch a lot of films in a year, so I have no idea what's coming next. Recently, I've been rewatching a lot of movies on Disney Plus, and I've been doing a lot of marathons on Disney Plus, so if I had more time, I would do do retrospective reviews on like the Pixar films, the Disney animated classics, the Marvel films. Maybe once I graduate, maybe once I'm done with college, and as long as work doesn't get in the way in the future, but I have my doubts. Either way, in terms of new films, I think the next one that I am interested in would probably be Onward, the next Pixar film. We'll see if I end up seeing that in theaters, I'm not totally sure. But regardless, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.